Hey guys, so before we kick off the episode, just want to let you know there will be some spoilers for the current Hero Academia manga and the current Jujutsu Kaisen manga. And we actually talked a little bit about Arcane in this video. So there's light spoilers. It's nothing too crazy, but there's definitely a little bit of a light spoiler. So if you're worried about that, just use the timestamps. Thank you. Hello, welcome to Weeb Junkies official podcast, episode 6 of Weebin Out. I'm your deranged host, Ryan, and here I've got the always cynical Joey
Mm-hmm.
and the forever handsome Jake.
Debatable.
This this week we're going to talk about JJK and Hero Academia as usual. And we also want to give out recommendations on stuff that we've been watching and actually games we've been playing. So just kind of what we've been doing in our spare time lately. Um, but first, Hero Academia. So
Yeah.
they decided to move forward with Tomura's fight first. At least I'm sure they're probably going to go, back and forth between different fights. But they at least started with Tomura. And I'm actually very excited about this because you immediately see we've got Mirko, Bakugo, Nejire, Sun Eater, and Best Genus. And they're also being supported by Cementos, Momo, and Hatsume. So,
Before this.
so I definitely want to say that I really enjoy that they're just like the heroes are just like in it. They're immediately taking the fight to Tomura, despite the fact that one of their key instruments to the fight, Deku, is not with them. And yet Best Genist does not skip a beat. Like he's just going straight for the throat with Tomura, and it's awesome. It's cool to see his experience coming through that way, because he's seemingly he's just totally unaffected by the fact that like a huge section of their plan has just been like a wrench has just been thrown into it.
Oh, I think it was originally Bunny Girl Mirko who got them over the shock of because when Bakugo first tells them this is that panel of everyone like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And then Mirko's like, it's a little late.
That's true. It was also America. Yeah, she was like, screw it. Let's go. I'm ready to beat some ass. I'm ready to whoop some ass.
Mirko!
I like it for sure. I mean, I like that something's actually happening for once. So congratulations. We're finally in the fights. I like and dislike the way that he set this up because it makes a lot of sense from his perspective of being mangaka, and from a writing perspective, it makes total sense that we didn't really get any. Well, we did get clues, tiny hints that the heroes were working on something, but not a lot. And then this allows him to finalize everything week to week, and then finally here we can see what everyone was doing, and it's a really good way as a writer to work with a big cast, because it would have increased build up even more if he spent all the time saying, okay, this person's doing this, and that. So I think here he's done it very well. They laid out the plan. We got the explanation out of the way this chapter, hopefully. I think it was concise.
They didn't waste too much time on it.
Yeah. Hatsune came through in a big way, as I knew she would, because she is best girl of the support division. Not that's a big topic in my hero.
Hold on. So you're segmenting them, but that's not how best girl works. Who is best girl?
I don't want to get into the best girl talk.
Come on, Joey. You don't have to explain it. Just tell me who.
Mirko.
No, hell no, it's not Bunny.
What?
No.
It's not Bunny Girl Senpai?
You're just factually wrong
great
about
show,
that.
By the way.
Yeah, that is a great show, but you're factually wrong about this, Joey. Mirko is best girl.
First of all, she should have died in the last fight.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That has no
That's
indication
irrelevant
on.
about
Yeah,
best
yeah, yeah.
girl.
We know who Jake's
Okay.
best girl is. Who is yours? Come on. You
What?
brought it up.
You brought up best girl.
Yeah.
Fine.
Who is
If
it?
I had to go off the rip, I would go Nagant.
Interesting.
I don't have a lot of options.
I know you
because
really like that part.
I can't pick any of the students, so
Wait, why can't you?
Yeah, that's. Why
Hmm?
can't you pick one? Is it just because you want all of 1A to die? Is that why you can't pick a best girl from 1A?
that's part of it. I mean, among the students, probably Mina or Momo. Actually, probably Mina. I like what they've done with her more.
I was gonna say Ashido. She's very outgoing, very likable.
But the electric, the guitar player girl's a close second. I think she's really chill.
Yeah, she is kind of like the opposite of Ashido, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cool too.
Mountain Lady.
Mount Lady, Biss.
Also, gonna put it into the ring. Toga.
Oh yeah, Toga's definitely.
I like a girl that will
Toga.
hurt me.
Well, okay, not. All right, not for that reason. No, that's not. I think Toga overall, aside from Ochako, who's probably the second most characterized female in the show. I mean, I think Toga is just the best written female character in the show. I don't think it's particularly close, but she's probably my favorite of just best girl aside. She's probably one of my favorite characters in the show.
Yeah, she's good. We'll have to see how her character arc ends here, but yeah, I like Toga.
That could change.
She's a good villain.
That could change dramatically based on how. That's a good point.
These next events pan out
for better or worse.
Yeah, for better
before
or
you
worse.
get too down on it, and I know the foreshadowing you're hoping doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But anyways, we got a little sidetracked. I wanted to say I'm so hyped to see the big three in action because
well, yeah, we didn't
obviously
see,
we've gotten some
Mirio.
of Mirio. We've gotten some of Mirio. I am looking forward to him, but we've gotten more of him than the other two. So in particular, I'm really looking forward to Sun Eater because Sun Eater has such a cool power. And we've seen him have like one little fight.
And its fight was awesome too. I think it
yes.
really carried that arc, aside from obviously Deku overall. But
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to Nejire.
And of course Nejire. And like
Jake?
they have said in the past that the big three, in terms of like power, are stronger than most pro heroes. So like we know how capable
especially
they
as a
can
team.
be. Right. We know how capable they can be, like just by word of mouth. But to see at least the two of them without Mirio working together should be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like, so we got the explanation out of the way. I like that a lot of the heroes that we were talking about were like, we don't really see, like, we thought that Momo and the other girls, or I guess we just know what Momo's doing. We don't know the other people, but we thought they were going to help Ochako and Froppy with Toga, but I actually like what they're doing with her here a lot better because it definitely makes sense, and I feel like this way she can really deliver to the plan.
Yeah, Momo's ability has always much been better suited for a support-esque role than an upfront fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So it is nice to see that happen. We've also got Denki charging the charging the
Oh, Kaminari. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kaminari,
Kaminari and a
and
couple
the
other
the other
electric types.
electro heroes.
What is his name?
A couple other
Is it
Pikachus.
Manga Man or
Manga, yeah, just manga. That's what
I'm not sure
Kaminari
if
called him.
there's
Manka.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I remember
I'm pretty
reading
sure
it, but
manga.
He
Manga's
hasn't
the
really
first
gotten
one.
much time.
But I mean, he got a little show during the Class 1B, 1A thing. That was about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was cool. It was cool that they brought them in there.
I am liking seeing some of these Class B heroes. At least we've only really seen 2 so far be involved in this fight.
I'm glad that the heroes from 1B that we have seen have been heroes that we've seen previously. I know a lot of people don't really care about 1B, or, to be honest, 1A outside of the main characters that much. A lot of casual viewers just care about, the main characters, but I think it is good that they're not random people from 1B.
Right. They didn't just like pop in like, oh, here's this 1B character that we just haven't shown you, and they have this power that's very, very good for this specific situation, very conveniently.
Yeah, all the heroes that are in these spots have been chosen for a reason.
And like they could have easily been done with Monoma right after he used Kurogiri's quirk, but they actually have him using Aizawa's quirk as well.
Yeah, I really liked that.
On Tomura.
I like that to a
they're
point.
They're pulling out all the stops on Tomura. And it's cool to see because it feels like they've quote unquote thought of everything within like a reasonable, realm of possibility.
Yeah. I like the Monoma stuff to a point. Since his power has always been, I mean, I know a lot of people have, and I think we talked about it a bit when we saw him in the intro build-up chapters. But his power has always been potentially, like, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good that they're using it to this extent. I do like how they did it here, especially the reason that I like it more than dislike it is because at the end of the chapter, Shigaraki seemingly displayed a God, I'm blanking on the word. Just a counter to Eraserhead and Monoma, essentially. That new whatever abomination monstrosity quirk that all for one had him developing, which, I mean, the All Stars and Stripes fight with the Nerf to then just give him a new quirk, regardless of that, that was weird story design, but anyway, it's good, and the next chapter should be really good too.
Yeah.
Because it shows that the heroes did think of a lot of this stuff, but Shigaraki at the same time is like, well, that doesn't really matter.
He's friggin' OP.
He's OP. Yeah. They had to think of everything.
They absolutely must. Right. They must come up with every single possible advantage that they could possibly come up with because they know just how ridiculous Tomura is.
Yeah, and I like the theme of the chapter that definitely set up, and My Hero's always been great with this. It's one of the things that I praise the show about, is that a lot of the times you get the plus ultra vibe, the big hero, like, yeah, woo, we're the good guys. And then the bad guys come in and they're like, yeah, it doesn't really matter that you're the good guys. None of what you just said matters at all, actually, because we're just going to come in here and break it. And I think at the end, that personified it, where Shigaraki's like, yeah, it's cool that you guys came up with this big plan, but, like, tough.
By the way, check out what I can do.
Yeah.
Look, Mom, only using one hand.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, and the arena in the sky is kind of cool.
Technically, one hand, if you don't count the other.
I mean, you're all spawned from one hand, so you can't count it as anything else.
Yeah, how are they keeping it in the sky, by the way?
That's what
Engines running on electricity.
that's what Kaminari and the other
okay.
two are
All right.
doing. They're
I
just
thought
powering it up.
they were just powering the shield, not the.
No, they're powering the whole
Okay.
thing.
No, they're going Super Saiyan.
Gotcha.
They're trying to keep the the
Gotcha.
arena by sheer force of will up in the sky.
That's got to have a time limit, though, right?
For sure.
For
Everybody's
sure.
on a time limit here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think how long can Monoma sit there and use Aizawa's quirk,
Well,
if it is
they actually
effective
got rid
in
of that
some
one.
ways.
They got rid of that bottleneck because the time gap or the gap on Monoma is that yes, he can use Eraser's quirk forever, but he can't move. He's stationary. He has to be in contact with Eraser.
Right, but how
And
long
he's got to
can
keep his
he?
eyes open. Yeah.
Yeah, how long
Yeah, I
can he
forgot
do
about
that?
that
How
one.
long can he
Yeah.
keep his eyes open, and how long can he go until he gets disrupted?
Yeah.
Well,
You know, how
disrupted
long
is
can the
probably
heroes?
gonna be the only way because they do have. I don't
They have
remember
the
his
eye
name, but they
drop
have that
guy.
water quirk guy keeping
Yeah.
his eyes moisturized. So
Yeah. So I mean, he's gonna get disrupted for sure.
yeah.
And I'm glad that Eraserhead's in the battle because this means he can actually die.
Jeez.
Like
Joey
he
just
should
wants
have.
everybody to die.
Eraserhead
You
has
will
a
not-
built-in. He has a built-in stand-in in the show already.
You will not be happy until every single character dies, will you?
I just want characters that should have died to die.
All of Japan has been wiped off the face of the earth. But
Actually,
you know what? There's no
this-
more villains, so
This
they
is
kind
all
of
a
won.
dream
I
that
don't care
Deku's
about
having right
citizens'
before he
deaths.
dies.
If Deku dies, I'll be happy.
Please, I'm the one who wants Deku to die. You want everyone to die. There is a difference.
True.
The whole of Class 1A dying is a meme. I don't want everyone to die. Just most of them.
Yeah, he wants Best Grill Ashido to survive.
Just 1A,
Yeah.
1A's
Yeah.
teachers. The villains can all live.
Eraserhead has been trashed the entirety of the season. Or the entirety of the show. He's just been KO'd for a long... I mean, the first time we see him in a fight, a no-move beats his ass.
I mean, basically, they had to do that because Eraserhead's ability is
his power is
broken.
really broken.
It's
Yeah.
broken. Because you take any person who is used to using their quirk in battle versus a person who's trained his whole life to be super combat adept and can erase their quirk, he's gonna win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But,
So, JJK, we are continuing Okotsu's struggle in his little three-way battle with Ishigari Takago.
yes. Yes!
Yeah.
So, Jake, you want to tell us what's going on here in this fight?
I mean, we it's the same three-way battle. The guy is hungry. I've never gotten my dessert. But he's basically
he has
just
regrets
looking
from his past life.
He's looking for a good fight. And
Yeah,
he's kind
like we talked about last week.
Yep, like you guys brought up last week, and kind of said that Joey, I think, brought this up the most, but that he was hungry for this battle. He needs good fights. But we're getting into that. And then of course, best girl Takako, because I'm going to stand Takako.
I think her power is way more broken.
She's so broken.
Because her power is like if she was good enough, if she's good enough, she could beat anybody. I swear, with that power.
You see his special beam cannon shoot out, and she just bounces it right back at him.
Right. That's another thing we talked about last week. She's just like, here you go.
Yeah, you guys actually called that. I think the thing that breaks open her power to it's completely broken, because she said last week that she turns the sky into a surface. Mm-hmm. But what we didn't call, and it's so simple too, that's why one of the things I love about it. It's so simplistic that you miss it completely. She didn't say that she was limited to one type of surface.
Right.
So we saw last week that she turned the sky into like a blanket or like a fabric type surface where she could mold it around. This week, well, actually, we saw two, but we got an answer this week for the second one. It doesn't necessarily have to be a malleable surface, it could be a thin one that she can then break, like the ice.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, theoretically, she could create the sky into any kind of surface she wants and do with it what she will
And
to
that
suit her own
ability,
needs.
yeah, and that ability against somebody other than Okotsu probably one shots them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's perfect to
That's kind of
assassination.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Honestly, it's
She is
crazy.
very strong, or at least I can't say she is very strong, but her ability seems to be incredibly more powerful than a lot of other abilities that we have seen, just because of its versatility.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I think it fits her tremendously well because a lot of shows, they have like assassin type characters, and usually, well, I mean, obviously the curse system in JJK gives it a leg up on 90% of shows because, as we mentioned before, it's very, very versatile. But a lot of shows they introduce assassin characters and they're just, oh well, I have a knife and a hood, and I'm kind of emo, and I'm an assassin. But you know, here it really is. It goes to show that her powers are very clearly designed to kill quickly, effectively, and as versatilely as possible. And I mean, she herself says that. She's like, I'm here to kill people and do my own thing.
Yeah. This is shaping up to be a really, really cool fight. I got a nice kick out of Ishigori calling her a pile of vomit. He's all outraged because she interrupted their fight, which is funny too because he interrupted their fight in the first
ironic
fight.
because he was the one who did it first.
It's like, hey, you pile of vomit. She just fires right back. That was good. They're definitely feisty characters. Man, I got all giddy at the final panel too.
I was
When
gonna
Okotsu
say,
said, I was trying to create enough distance between us and the stadium, and then he said, Rika, it's time to, it's time to go all out. Maybe, maybe a domain.
This will be a treat for people who haven't read Chapter 0, because this will be the first real time you guys get to see Rika go at it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of slight little thing I'll add in, Joey and I are going to see the movie in 10 days. Yeah, on the 17th.
Yep.
And we will definitely record an episode. Or just we'll record a video with our impressions of the movie and whatnot. So look forward to that. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. I was really excited because I know that we were, Ryan, especially with his real big hot take on Okotsu at the start of this fight. I think that take just took a big hit with the introduction of Rika coming back into the fold. So that's looking less and less likely, but JJK could surprise the hell out of me again because
don't shred my bubble. let me keep believing. He said he needs a lot of space. There's still hope.
Well, I think it's cool that you mentioned that the space could be for an attack, and because I think a lot of people just thought that he meant like keeping the fight away from the stadium in general to protect them. But
well, we have had in the past like Gojo when he fought Jogo, where he's like, I need to get him away from Itadori before I use my domain. and he like mentally says to himself like, okay, I can use my domain now. I won't, you know, he won't hit Itadori. I'm pretty sure.
I think Gojo just at the start of that fight, I think Gojo said initially that it was good that they were out in the middle of nowhere because then he could actually fight.
Right.
Because Gojo's so broken, and even in that fight, his abilities, destroy the landscape entirely. Not just Jogo's. Gojo's does a fair bit of that himself.
Right.
And when he goes to grab Itadori, all he says really to him is just stay by me and you'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. He was in the domain.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's got to be pretty jarring for Yuji.
Oh,
to
yeah.
be to be sitting there inside of Gojo's domain, staring at infinity.
We it's good that he was with Gojo because during Shibuya, Gojo says that he can't really do his domain around humans because it would like literally just kill them outright.
Basically melt their brain.
Yeah. I mean the way that he, breaks through that is amazing. The Shibuya incident's easily going to be one of the best arcs going down.
It was so cool.
But I'm looking forward to this next chapter.
Same. Really hype.
Yeah. So am I.
Yeah. I think it can do a lot of good things. Do we think that the fight's going to conclude soon? Or you guys
next chapter?
I don't think next chapter. You think
probably?
You think Rika's going to be that broken that it ends in one chapter?
I think you guys are underestimating how broken Rika is.
Well, we don't know anything about Rika, first of all, so we can't estimate her in any way, shape, or form.
Well,
but I would not be surprised if one of them was defeated. Probably Takako. But
not Bae. Not Bae.
I feel like they'll probably focus her first.
We know a lot about. I won't spoil the Rika's abilities, but you'll find out on the 17th.
But what I'm saying is Jake and I we can't estimate her because we don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them was defeated in the next chapter. And I would bet that it would be Takako out of the two. But
he's probably the more dangerous of the two.
And I feel like the one that would be more likely to sow chaos.
Yeah, probably, at least in a more direct way.
Like if you're Okotsu, you're probably thinking that it's more dangerous for the people nearby, that Takako is kind of, bending
reality,
warping reality, and
well,
possibly gonna throw a beam, in a different direction that could blow people up.
I think her mindset would be more of a detriment to people around her being alive,
right?
Than any, especially because she said it that I think I don't remember if it was 1 chapter or 2 chapters ago, but she literally said that she's just getting as many points as she can.
She also said in this chapter that she was just toying around with them, essentially. Like she said that in this chapter.
And she's already mad, in the previous chapter, she's already mad at Okotsu, so there's not really any telling what she's going to do. I feel like she is the bigger question mark.
I thought for a bit that it seemed before I saw the last panel, which we saw that Rika is coming into the fold. I thought that Okotsu and what's his name?
Pompadour Man?
Yeah.
Ishigori?
Pompadour. Yeah, Ishigori. I thought Okotsu and Ishigori would team up to take her out. But I thought it would come from Ishigori's side. I don't think Okotsu would ask him to team up. I thought that it would kind of be like maybe an unspoken thing where they both start attacking her. Ishigori for interrupting the fight, and Okotsu for just the reasons that we've stated, that he wants to keep people safe from her, and he thinks he can deal with Ishigori pretty easily. She's definitely the wild card in this situation.
Yeah.
Which is why I hope they don't get rid of her quickly.
Yeah, JJK is known for keeping people around a long time, so I'm sure that worry will not come to anything. And longer than My Hero keeps people around, so.
So, yeah, I mean, like we keep saying, we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah. We're all super excited about actually the immediate future for both of these manga. We're really excited to see where they're gonna take it. You know, JJK is building towards a lot. You know, this is only one battle going on between all of these different districts, and like we also have to remember like all of the other different important characters that are out there.
Yep.
Wouldn't that just suck if they went to a different character next chapter?
Oh my god, they could absolutely
I might be mad.
Itadori and Fushiguro.
Well, I might be mad unless it was I'm totally blanking on her name, but her sister, just Mai. Yes. If it went to Mai, I would be really hyped, because the last time we saw Mai, she her stonks skyrocketed. This chick is blazing right now, and I can't wait to see her in a cool fight, because
I feel like we're gonna
she's seeming insane.
Unfortunately, I feel like Mai and a bunch of other stuff that we've seen before we really got into the colony, you know, the colony arcs of the Cullen game, are probably going to happen after.
Yeah, I feel like we're not going to see her for a while, but if they did show her, like, boom, she's going up against like some big bad, I'd be so hyped.
Yeah,
like
I wouldn't complain.
I wouldn't care that much that they're cutting away from Okotsu.
There are a bunch of things that I want to see them cover. Like, I mean, obviously the gigantic elephant in the room, Kugisaki, just continuously toying with the fan base. We're not going to get an answer until after the Cullen game. I know it, but it doesn't make it any less hard to wait.
Yeah.
And I think we can add the Mai stuff there. The Fushiguro's sister stuff is also really interesting to me, because we know she's awake. And we know that she's going around, and we know that potentially it's not even her. It could be something else. We don't know what Kenjaku has done. We don't even know what he's doing now. He's in China.
Yeah, everything's up in the air.
Much.
The future of JJK is really exciting. There's so much to delve into. It's looking bright.
Outside
as much as the show is dark. So, yeah, that wraps it up for those two. This week we wanted to, as I was saying before, we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that we have been watching and or playing lately. Because, well, we want to start streaming, you know, some stuff, like us gaming, maybe playing like some fun games together. But, you know, as far as stuff that we've been doing individually, I mean, Jake, why don't you kick us off?
With stuff I've been playing?
Or watching. And or.
I haven't been...
Dr. Stone, of course.
Yeah, I've been watching Dr. Stone, as everybody knows. I've also been watching... Hold on. Cat needs me.
Tux the cat.
Yes, sir. Say hello, everybody.
He's a very needy boy.
Yes, he is.
All right, buddy. I've been watching Dr. Stone. The only other show I'm really following right now that we mentioned in last episode... You just ripped out my headphones. That wasn't very kawaii desu of you. There we go. I can hear again. But I've been watching Dr. Stone, and then the only show I've been watching this season has been My Dress Up Darling, and it's just it's staying great. I'm still loving it. I loved it so much that I have actually gone into the manga and I've read every chapter that's come out so far because I'm just loving it so much.
You're gonna have to read Dr. Stone because the last chapter just dropped.
The last chapter just dropped? Well, I can't read it yet. I have to.
Dr. Stone just finished.
I have to watch the rest of this season at least.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna. Oh, go ahead.
And he's been keeping up on Attack on Titan, of course.
Well, yes, I have been watching Attack on Titan as well, but we're gonna go over that in next episode, I believe.
Is that so? Next episode is the last episode, or was that this week?
Sunday, I believe, is the final episode of Attack on Titan.
I can't remember if it was this past Sunday or if it is this next upcoming Sunday. That is the last episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Either way, there will be.
Episode 85 is supposed to be the final episode, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so that would be this Sunday, this upcoming Sunday.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so then we absolutely will have a video, or the majority of, next podcast.
We'll have a big section on it.
We'll have that. It'll be huge, if not the entire podcast. Essentially, will be focused on Attack
on Titan.
Yeah.
But anyways,
we haven't talked about it since the Aaron head separating from his shoulders episode.
Was that episode 1 or 2, or was it even
episode 1?
The lost episode, as we'll call it.
Maybe episode 1, maybe episode 2.
Episode 3.
We're sorry about episode 3. We really liked it.
Yeah, it was a great episode, but the recording did not work.
Corrupted.
Yeah, it's not working out as planned, so
rest in peace.
Yeah. This is the real episode 3.
Anyways, Jake also has a personal stream. What have you been doing on that?
Not a whole lot recently. Because I've been juggling quite a few different things in my personal life, adding this podcast into things. I was raiding, and I had a bunch of homework, midterms, stuff like that. I really haven't touched my stream in a while, but the last thing I was streaming was Kingdom Hearts 3, because I had a series that I had been doing the whole time of Kingdom Hearts, playing every game in chronological order, and platinuming every game. And I am on Kingdom Hearts 3 now. So I'm on my way, I'm almost done. I just have to do Kingdom Hearts 3, it's DLC, and Melody of Memory.
And then, what do you think you're gonna do after that?
Some other JRPG.
Tales of Arise, perhaps?
Tales of Arise is definitely something I've been considering. I've also been looking into, Xenoblade. I want to play 1 and 2, because 3 is gonna come out soon as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100%. No, I'm not 100%ing that game. Don't ask me to.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Don't ask me to.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I've heard a lot of praise around Xenoblade.
Yeah. But it will be, the next big thing I plan on doing with my stream will be a Xenoblade based game. Or a JRPG, sorry, not just Xenoblade.
And where can people find your stream?
People can find me at twitch.tv /Jaxboc, JAXBOC. That is my handle because it is my name with an X and the letters moved around, like organization members from Kingdom Hearts. Wow, what a shock that Kingdom Hearts was my first series on my channel.
I'm amazed.
But besides that, I've also been playing a lot of League, actually. But that's stopped because they got rid of Earth. They had Earth out, which is a fun game mode to play of League of Legends. And they got rid of it, and now I am sad.
And now I don't interact with
ARAMs don't scratch the same itch.
They don't. They really don't. I've been trying to, like, my friends still want to play a little bit of League. And they're like, yeah, we can play ARAMs still. And it's like, no.
No, not the same.
Mm-hmm.
I just really enjoy their rotating game modes. Ultimate Spellbook was actually a lot of fun. I like All Random Earth. I like Earth.
All for one.
All for
Or one for
One
all.
is actually a really fun game mode as well. Although I don't like that one as much because if one person chooses a really bad champion for you guys all to play, then it's just over.
Yeah.
So you can be screwed by your teammates, which
Such is the
Which
nature
is
of League of
such
Legends.
is the nature of League of Legends.
That's very, very clearly.
And then there's also that fact of, oh, this champion is really good, and I'm really good at this champion. I pick it. Well, guess what? None of my other teammates know how to play this champion at all, so they just feed.
True.
And then the game's
Yep.
over. It's real. That one can be rough, but I do still enjoy it.
Assassin mode is kind of cool too. Everybody's assassins. Yeah, it only makes assassins available. So it's literally just
Oh wow.
a crazy game mode with like accelerated gold generation, and like all 10 players are assassins.
I haven't even seen that
It
one
hasn't-
pop up.
It hasn't been for a while. Like I played it last year, but I
Uh-huh.
don't think I've seen it since then. Yeah, I don't know where it is.
It might have gotten taken out of rotation, but that does sound like fun. I feel like I would have a lot of fun with that game mode.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
that one was
League,
cool.
Uh-oh.
If people haven't watched it, you absolutely should, because Arcane.
You're gonna talk about
was-
Arcane.
Oh, yeah. We haven't talked about
Arcane.
Arcane.
Was fantastic
Yes.
and easily one of the best animated shows of last year.
Of
Easily.
2021.
It
Yeah.
was definitely my favorite show, bar
Yeah.
none of
Yeah,
2021.
it was definitely my anime.
Loved it.
And I'm just gonna call it anime. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about.
Close enough.
Yeah,
But yes,
it's
I agree.
easily my best anime of
Mhm.
2021.
They just did these three different story arcs, and they did them all so well. There was only one episode I'd argue wasn't fantastic. I don't know if you guys even if you guys have an episode you like the least, but there was
really.
one thing
Well,
that stood out to me and was just bad, and I hated that
I'd have
they
to
did
hear your. I'd have to hear what.
it. First, tell
what,
me, you don't have to go into detail, but tell me which episode was your least favorite.
It's tough because I really liked a lot of them.
A lot of them were very good.
Uh,
I don't have that many massive complaints.
It's really this is the only episode I didn't like. Every other episode I really enjoyed a lot. But there was one thing they did in this episode that just tanked it for me. I instantly couldn't get over it.
I think it would have to be.
I don't know if I could say.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have really a big thing that I didn't like about the show, to be honest.
I'm kind
It
of
could
shocked.
just be me being biased about like the League lore, because I've always loved League lore.
League lore
and
is
I
great.
Loved that.
Better than
I
the
loved that
game
they-
by far.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely better than the game. And I was really happy years ago when they decided to actually redo the lore and dig deeper into it. And I read the stories on the website. And I used to. Now I just watch. I have YouTubers that read them for me because I don't want to read.
Support your
Yeah.
YouTubers.
Yes. But yeah, I love League lore, and I loved that they were. I mean, the community has been begging for a show ever since the first cinematic for
Yeah.
Worlds. So
Yeah.
and for them to knock it out of the park, because I've seen a ton of people, so many people when the first episode launched, that saying that they, especially huge League streamers, were calling that this show was gonna flop, and they just wanted to hate watch it for reviews, and then they watched it, and I remember watching several streamers watching it, and they're like, "Shit,
It's good.
this show's actually good."
Yeah. And the really great thing is you need absolutely zero prior knowledge of anything
Yes.
League of Legends.
That
You
is
don't
the-
need to know anything.
That is the best thing they could have done for this show.
Oh, easily. It
In
would have
fact-
flopped. It would have flopped
in fact,
immediately if yeah.
This isn't even technically canon to actual
Yep.
league.
It's
This is
not.
a separate universe.
It
They
should
have
be.
It should be. You're
it
right.
should
It
be.
should be. But they've stated this is separate because
Yeah.
you don't have as close of a connection in lore about Jinx and Vi. There's
No, you don't.
there's insinuations that Jinx's sister is Vi and vice versa.
There are strings and threads
Yes.
you can pull.
You think
but
I'm
it's
crazy?
not-
You should see my sister. Is like
Yeah.
the one big line that a lot of people
Yeah.
pointed towards Vi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a theory for a while.
Yeah,
the,
but-
the massive amount, the majority of the community wants Arcane to be canon. It's not yet, but
It could
as
be
Legends of
moved to
Runeterra expands, they have added Arcane into their canon,
Yeah.
and it seems moving forward, Legends of Runeterra is going to be the official place where they add new lore in. So I'm expecting very soon for Arcane to just be made
All right.
canon.
So we got pretty off topic, or at least of my topic of not enjoying one episode. So
Sure.
I'm gonna finish this off.
Yes,
Episode
what didn't you enjoy?
episode 5. I found
I
that
was gonna say episode 5 only because it felt like a big setup, but I still loved it.
not
Sorry.
not even that
Go
it was a
ahead.
setup. That's not the thing I
Go-
hated the most about it. And I
Yeah,
might
but-
actually be misremembering which episode this is. I think I'm right. But I found that all the middle episodes out of all sets, they were always the weakest. Because obviously the opening, you get a lot of good story introduction for each trilogy of episodes.
Yeah.
Final
Yeah.
episode is always an emotional
Always.
knife to the
Yeah.
chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But episode 5, I think it was episode 5. It had to be episode 5 because I would never talk bad about episode 6 because episode 6 is like my favorite. I love episode 6. It was either episode 4 or 5. I'm pretty sure it's 5. But they literally put in Imagine Dragons into the show and did a little music
Oh.
video, and I hated
yeah.
that. I hated it.
Yeah.
I need more people
Alright.
to hear how much I hated that. I hate it. Ugh.
I will.
Okay.
You know what? I totally. You know what?
I
My
totally
mind, my
forgot
brain
about
repressed
that.
that memory because.
It
And
didn't.
if anybody watching this likes Imagine Dragons, I will not apologize. Imagine Dragons is trash.
I don't even mind
Terrible.
them as a band, but
I
I
hate
don't
putting
mind them at all.
putting
man.
in
I hate
the
them.
music video. Why would you? You already have a music video. You already have it. It's on your YouTube channel. You don't
Mm.
need to put them in again to the.
Yeah.
I think the music video that they made is actually the official music video of
And
that
it's-
song.
Yes,
So,
it is, and
Yeah.
it's way better than what they put into the show, and that's
Yeah,
a crime in itself.
I can only assume that it was contractual obligations.
I'm
that
figuring it
they
had to be.
They had to put it in there. Or Fortiche is just a big fan
Hmm.
of
But it was.
Imagine Dragons.
I just can't
I was
stand the band.
okay.
The music video thing didn't bother me that much. I just can't stand the band. So
I-
anytime their music was played, I was like, ugh. Okay, come on, get it over
I
with.
was okay with it simply because it was the time that they put it in was a transition scene, and it was very quick, and like really nothing else was going on, and it led into another one of Vi's amazing fights.
It did lead into a
So-
great fight. That's the one thing that made me not want to hate that episode was that fight. It was a very well choreographed fight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very
Oh,
well
it's
done.
amazing.
I can't get over it.
I can give you that. I can give you that. For a while, I forgot that there were three. For a minute, I forgot that there were 3 sets of episodes
Mm.
with 3 each. So I was thinking, I was like, "There's no way episode 5 was the Silco monologue by the statue of
No.
because that yeah okay yeah no because I was gonna say you better not have hated
That was
one
episode
of
that
the
was
best-
episode 8. That was
I
episode
was
8.
gonna say that was one of the best scenes in the entire show.
It was a good. I'd still say of the set of 3 of episodes 7, 8, and 9, and like this is nothing against episode 8 because episode 8 is really really good, but it's still the weakest episode of the 3. I would argue.
Yeah. I think you were right with the middle episodes being.
They just generally are weaker.
Yeah. There's a lot that
and
that's
that is not saying anything bad about Arcane.
Bad.
I want to make this very, very clear. They're
these
good episodes. They are just the weakest of the episodes.
Yeah,
I'd say like
episodes.
the openings are generally like sit around a 9 for me. The endings are almost always a 10 for me, and then an 8 for episode 2.
An 8 is still great.
Episode 2 and 8.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
8 is still a very good score.
Yes, we all
because
make
episode 5 is still a really good episode. I'd put it down 1 or 2 points below an 8 just for that music video, but that's my own personal issue with that episode. Still, the rest of it's fantastic. Episode 5.
It's fantastic. And the weakest episodes, quote unquote, are, I mean, it's apples and oranges here. Just watch the show. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
One last thing, and then we'll move on to, I guess, what me or Ryan has been playing or watching. Of the 3 sets of episodes, which set was your favorite?
Jake. You're making this really damn difficult.
Yeah, because I think I have mine.
I think we could do a whole episode, or we could do a whole like video on Arcane. To be honest,
we could, but
but don't use that as a cop out.
I don't know. I love episode 6. I do. It's my favorite episode of all of them. But I think because of the music video, I literally can't give it to set number 2. I think I can't do it.
Well, I guess I'll start then, because I have mine.
Yeah, go ahead. Go with yours.
Of the 3 sets, and they're all fantastic, and I really like what the middle set does a lot. But I think 1, 2, and 3 are just, I think the first 3 episodes were chef's kiss.
They were.
They nailed everything that they needed to nail. They set up the entire rest of the show. They nailed Jinx and Vi, and the culmination in episode 3 with all the subtle foreshadowing that honestly I didn't even realize how much foreshadowing is in those 3 episodes until several rewatches, other people looking into the show. It's the more I think about it, it just shows to me that those 3 episodes are just a cut above the rest, and the rest of the show is amazing. But
the first 3 are near perfect.
Those first 3 were just so good. They're fabulous.
I think I would agree. They're probably my favorite, but it's so close. It's hard for me. I can't even say that confidently. Like,
yeah,
I would say like I guess the first 3 are my favorite, but you know, like when I think about it, it's like like just maybe just barely. Like all of the show is just so damn good that it's hard to choose.
I think
what part is best when they're all fantastic.
When it comes down to all the brass and tacks, I gotta go with set 3. It's not by much.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually, the final episode of 9, I don't.
Cliffhanger? Are we going to talk about the cliffhanger?
We're not going to talk about that. Yeah, not yet. But I'm putting it right at where episode 3 is, and that's just a tiny bit below where episode 6 is. The only detriment of set 2 for me still puts it below was the music video. They ruined that set for me with it. But set 3, it's got what I'd argue is Joey, your background.
Oh my god. I didn't even notice it.
I thought I had it set to not rotate.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Did it? Well, we'll have to see.
I have no
We'll have to go
idea.
back.
That's
How
the
long?
issue, Joey. I don't know how long that was going on. Okay.
Hey, that isn't nudity though.
Thank you, Joey.
That's
All right. Set.
I bow to your observation skills.
Episode 9, I would argue it has probably the most emotional impact with it's got when Jinx obviously we haven't gone into we've spoiled a little bit of Arcane just by talking about this, but hopefully you've skipped over. If you've seen Arcane, please skip over this section because I'm going over the end right now. When
yeah, we probably should have put spoilers before this, but that's
it's been out for a while. I think we're fine.
Yeah.
But Jinx shoots Silco, and that interaction between Silco and Jinx, where she realizes she's done it again. She's killed one of the most important people in her life, and she's like, "Don't apologize. You're perfect just the way you are."
Oh yeah, Jinx and Silco's relationship was a highlight of the show.
It was
sure.
very good.
I mean, Silco,
It had me a
Shockingly.
little. It had me a little worried on episode 4 when it seems a little more than a daughter and daughter-father relationship, but that quickly got swept away, and you could basically say, yeah, that
was just awkwardly directed.
It was an
scene.
awkward.
Yeah.
It was an awkward. Yeah, I'll just leave it
Yeah.
at that. But basically, they 100% confirm it's just a father-daughter relationship between the two.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Silco's storyline's probably one of the best.
Silco,
in the show.
yes,
And for him being an entirely new character,
a brand new character.
By the way, he's not in League.
But
Mhm.
he's just
the game.
that, and then she's like, after that happens, she realizes, no, I'm Jinx. This is who I am. I'm not that little girl you used to know.
Yeah, there's two different.
That we are not the same anymore, and you can't love me because of that, and it's evident. It's such a heart-wrenching moment. It's so good. And on top of that, episode 9, probably also the best fight scene in the entire series between Sevka and Vi. It's so good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Episode 9, again, the only reason I felt episode 6 was stronger than 9 is I just felt a little more emotion, and that ending scene of Jinx, because at first she thinks Vi's not real in episode 6. She thinks she's having another basically psychotic break.
Yeah.
But then she realizes she's really here. She's come back for me, but then she's taken, and she breaks. Another psychotic break. Just another thing bringing Jinx further and further down. It's so emotional. It's so raw. And you see, like, even that moment, she doesn't... she thinks, was this even real? Was my sister even really here? Everyone's just gone.
Yeah.
It's so... This Arcane can be classified as emotional damage. The show.
Emotional damage.
So, anyways, this kind of became a Arcane podcast for a little bit there. But,
it's just watch Arcane, please.
Yeah,
guys.
definitely watch it. So, I guess I'll start off with I just saw the Batman. So I'll throw that out there. I thought it was sick.
Hopefully, no spoilers
really,
for everybody.
No, I won't spoil anything. Just personally, I loved it. I've seen mixed opinions. I've seen a lot of people loving it, and I've seen some people some people not liking it so much. So I guess this will be a pretty divisive one, but it's up there for me. I would put it close to the Dark Knight trilogy. I was a really, really big fan of this movie.
You know, it's funny. I actually saw people
Batman
putting
goes.
it over the Dark Knight trilogy.
I didn't see that. I saw that
one of the people that I went with said that it was his new favorite Batman movie. So yeah,
Wow.
I will say that Batman has a really great character arc. Jim Gordon is great. Catwoman's actually good. They overall the atmosphere in this movie was just so good.
Good Catwoman?
A lot of the time, I know, and a lot of the time they don't even rely on music very much. They just let the atmosphere just do its thing. And
sorry, go ahead.
one of the things that they do in this movie so well is, and if you've seen the trailer, you know, like he says, Batman says, "I'm vengeance," but like they really do make him out to be kind of like the boogeyman for the criminals. Like he legitimately like instills fear in the city, and it's really well done.
That's good.
So
it's what Batman's supposed to be.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm glad they do that.
In a way. And the last thing that I'll say, because obviously I don't want to spoil, the Riddler.
I heard
the
it was
Riddler
a fantastic
was
performance.
so good. Oh my goodness, the Riddler was excellent. I loved every moment he was on the screen. I was just left wanting more.
Would you put him on the same level as
don't do it.
Joker?
Different. I won't. Nope. I'm not. Nope. Different. Absolutely different, because Joker, at least in that iteration from the Dark Knight, everybody knows, he is very much about like instilling the chaos and the anarchy, basically for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Riddler in this movie, without giving anything away, it's more throughout the movie you're trying to, because it's less, I mean, there's a lot of action, but it's less about the action than previous movies, and there's a lot more of like the mystery and you know, kind of like the world's greatest detective, like solving what's going on.
That's been missing from a lot of Batman, so I'm glad that's actually in here.
Yeah, so like you kind of find out throughout the movie the Riddler has motives, and there's a lot of like, yeah, I can't say much, but
yeah,
he's causing this for a reason. He's doing these things for a reason. He's definitely crazy, but he is not the Joker. He's clearly different.
Oh, I was just trying to compare
rate performances.
Yeah. Would you put him on the same level, a little bit higher, a little bit lower than
very similar
Joker from Dark Knight?
Yeah, very similar, I would say. This Paul Dano, I think that's how you pronounce it. He was excellent. Okay. And I read like an excerpt from an interview with Matt Reeves where he was talking about one scene in particular where the Riddler's having a conversation with the Batman, and Paul Dano literally asked for like over 200 takes. Like he kept trying new things and trying different things and wanting to like be absolutely perfect about it. Basically, they talk about him like obsessing over like every scene that he was in, like making sure that he was doing everything he possibly could for the character. So yeah, that, and you will feel that when you see the movie.
Good.
It was excellent. Other than that, obviously, I have been keeping up with Attack on Titan. Like I said, Joey and I are gonna go see the Jujutsu Kaisen movie. In 10 days. I've been playing the Outer Worlds for the first time.
Okay.
So anybody that's a fan of like the Fallout series, this is basically Fallout in space but better. yeah, better Fallout in space. It's really good. If you like those kinds of games, I'm having a ton of fun with it. I'm like 30 hours in or something.
Okay.
And I've only visited like 3 planets out of, I don't know, there's plenty more. I've just been like doing everything. The character writing is really good. The dialogue is really good. Like I've been getting like great laughs out of like some of the options that I can do. And honestly, my only complaint is I should probably turn up the difficulty because I've been doing everything, so it feels like my character's really overpowered
Yeah.
for what I'm doing. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, honestly,
Outer Worlds is sick.
it felt like a return to form for Obsidian. I mean, a lot of people say that New Vegas was their favorite Fallout game,
Yeah,
and I think that Outer Worlds is definitely my favorite Bethesda game of the last decade,
you
easily.
get
And it's not even Bethesda.
right. You get very similar vibes to New Vegas because there's a lot of points. At least I haven't beaten the game yet, but even now there's a lot of points where you're kind of forced into making big decisions that will
Yeah,
drastically alter your relation with like
yeah.
different factions.
And the best
Um,
part about it is you can literally approach it. I promise you, if you're on the fence about this game, you can literally approach these situations almost any way you want. And that's not
yeah,
hyperbole.
yeah.
That you can literally do almost anything you want,
Yeah. I mean,
and the game will react to it.
I've gone deep into like a certain faction, um, and like gotten towards the end and like been all with them. And then like by the end I was like, wait a minute. I don't agree with these people anymore. I need to I need to betray them. At last minute I need to betray them. I can't do this because I want to do 2 playthroughs, right? I want to do one where I'm kind of playing the way that I feel I would react in those situations or decisions I would personally make. And then I want to do a playthrough where I'm just a huge jackass. Because that's
You
always
can
fun.
definitely do that. You can
That doesn't sound
definitely.
like Mass Effect at all.
I know, right?
You can definitely do that.
Yeah. So
It
like
it
the decision that I made with the sublight, I'll just say the sublight for Lilia Hagen, um, the decision I made in the end is definitely different than the decisions that I will be making when I'm playing as a jackass. So yeah.
and for all you people, well, just you can be a really big jackass.
Yeah. It's
So
a great game. It's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you don't even have to buy it. Just download
yeah,
it on your PC or your Xbox, whatever. It's great.
DLC is there too, I believe.
I think you have to buy the DLC if you have it through Game Pass. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I
okay,
haven't
all right,
I haven't tried. Um,
fair enough.
but
But
anyways,
I hear good things about the DLC too.
yeah. Um, as I hinted towards Jake earlier, um, I have to beat it, but I'm also playing Tales of Arise. Whoo! Tales of Arise is so good, and if you've seen or played a Tales game before, you know it's very anime as well. But uh,
It's expansive.
it has a solid story backed by great characters and really fun combat, and a little bit of exploration. Um, Highly recommend, because the story just builds and builds and builds and gets better as it goes, and the gameplay continues to change up in little ways throughout even like the first like 30 hours of the game. I want to say by the time I hit like the 4th zone, they had added another new gameplay element that I was like, oh wow, this late. Um, and yeah, there's and they sort of set it up in a way where you think that a certain point is going to be the end, and it really just ends up opening like a whole new thing. Um, I'll just say, yeah, the game is great. Really good gameplay, really good storytelling, really good characters. I think if you're a fan of JRPGs, this should definitely be on your list. It's awesome. Even if you've never played a Tales game before, because this is only my second one. Um, After Tales of Berseria, and I like Berseria a lot too.
I'd also say it's
Um,
really welcoming. The gameplay is very beginner friendly.
yeah, it starts off simple and like it builds. As you get further into the game, they add more and more stuff, as I was saying earlier. Um, so yeah, I highly recommend Tales of Arise. It's a great game, especially if you like JRPGs. Other than that, I have a few buddies I play League of Legends with. I know, puke. Um, it scratches my competitive itch when I need it. Um, due to being a family man, I don't exactly have as much time to game as I used to. So I can't be as competitive in a lot of games as I used to. Um, so it is nice to be able to hop on a league and you know still scratch that itch, still sometimes flex on people. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, I still have a lot of fun with that. I learned a while ago to not take it seriously. Um, so people are being toxic. I usually just mute everybody at the start of the game. Um, yeah,
I missed the
that
time.
makes it easy.
I missed the time where they
Yeah.
completely got all chat out of the game. That was nice. Then I only had my teammates that could potentially be toxic.
Yeah. Well, like I said, literally turn off all chat, and then as soon as you get into the game, mute your team. I mean, you can leave pings on if you want,
just
but
turn off chat in general.
chat should probably just be removed from the game,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest. I've thought this for a while, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't add enough, honestly. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we should go here. Literally, just ping it then. The ping
Mhm.
system was introduced. It works well. Use it.
Or
Yeah,
you
and
can
your
play
pings-
Heroes and
and your-
not League and play a good MOBA.
Play what MOBA?
Heroes.
Oh god, I used to play Heroes. I can't go down that.
that joke is so bad that I can't even laugh at it.
You're missing out. It's fun. Fun game.
No, I mean, I'm sure it's still fun. I played it for a little while, but when I play it, I just want to play League instead. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
It depends. There's some characters that I've found that I just really enjoy in Heroes.
Mhm.
One, for example, was Lucio. I mained Lucio for a long time. He was a ton of fun to play. He's got AoEs. You either get to choose speed or healing that you can then amp up. You've got your Q, which is a little CC ability. It's pretty nice. You get bonus speed for just riding along the inside of
it's
the map.
just fun.
I
It's
haven't
just a fun
started,
MOBA.
or I haven't played it since they started adding Overwatch characters, so I guess it's been quite some time. But it's not impossible that I won't try it again someday. But I don't really plan on it now.
One MOBA is enough, and I
Agreed.
say one MOBA is more than enough. You don't need to play a MOBA.
You don't need to play MOBA.
Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my recommendation. Don't
Yes.
jump down that well, because you'll get
Yes.
stuck in it.
You can watch it if you want, but I mean, I watch
Watching is
the
fun.
League Pro scene pretty
Yeah.
religiously. I'm a big fan of that. And my wife gives me crap for it, but it's the same thing. You're watching
sports.
it for entertainment. It's the same thing as watching a sport,
I think
watching
it's more
football.
entertaining than sports, but that's me.
Esports
It just
is a
depends on
perfectly
your
fine
interest.
thing to watch.
Yeah, it just
Esports is a
depends on your
perfectly
interest.
Fine thing to watch as long as you're not tailgating by your computer. Don't do that. It's really weird.
That is kind of well.
What?
Also, sorry, Joey. Before I let you go, I just noticed on the marketplace, they added the original Xbox game for Revenge of the Sith, which was one of my old school favorites to play.
Was that for Xbox and PlayStation?
I think so.
Because I think I had it for PlayStation. I think I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm pretty sure it was on the PS2 as well. But yeah, it's an old clunky game, but it had fun lightsaber combat, so I picked it up for $10.
I remember beating that on the DS.
Yeah,
it was really fun.
And I also I've been really
I don't know
trying to find fun split screen games to play whenever my 3 brother-in-laws come over. and I've been
Good
having a
luck.
really hard time because the industry seems to have just completely abandoned
Yeah,
split screen at
they've
this point.
gotten rid of that.
That's really unfortunate. I don't
Yeah,
like
like
it.
I
but-
even bought Cold War on sale, Call of Duty Cold War on sale for zombies, and
That's terrible.
I
Yeah.
looked it up and it said like 2 to 4 local. And then I bought it and split screen didn't work. I sat there for an hour and a half with my brothers trying to get it to work. And then came to find out that like they removed it.
And
And
they
I was like,
removed it and didn't
And
post
didn't mention it.
that it was
Yeah.
a removed feature. That's
Yeah.
scummy.
Are you surprised Activision
That-
made this?
I
well, I'm
mean,
just
Are you
saying, like, it's
surprised?
just so silly.
Right.
Like, I bought the game literally for the sake of playing split screen zombies with my
Right.
brother-in-laws, and then we couldn't. So, you know what I did? I
Refund?
refunded it.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I refunded the game immediately. And
That's
I
what
got
you
my
get for
money
buying
back,
Call of
thankfully.
Duty To
Yeah.
begin with.
Why else would I buy the game? Like, come on. Couch co-op. But anyways, I digress. So I picked up on the Xbox as well. I picked up Jedi Academy because you could do the lightsaber battles in split screen. And even now, it's still some of the best lightsaber combat that we've ever had in a game. Somehow, 20 years later, we still haven't had a better game come out.
Well,
I mean, Fallen Order is great. Don't get me
gonna say.
wrong, but like, it's very contained. Whereas
True.
like Jedi Academy, you have so much more. Like, you have all sorts of different like light side and dark side abilities. You can choose your different lightsaber styles. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Especially being how old the game is. And finally, I also bought the Clone Wars game, also from the original Xbox era, which has like the really fun like tank missions and just the vehicle combat in that game is like really cool, and it actually still holds up. So
Unlike
I'll be having some
Battlefield
fun.
2042.
Right. I'll be having some fun little couch co-op shenanigans for the foreseeable future.
Man, I miss couch co-op.
Me too. So bad. So bad.
That's
As
why I'm
somebody
so
who grew up with it, with brothers and with like my best friends, like
Yeah.
we did so much like Halo split screen and all sorts of different
It's
games.
something that the industry shouldn't have moved away from, but greed got the better of it.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I kept a lot of my older systems. So when I really get that itch and I have someone that I want to play a game with, we can just sit down and plug in one of my old systems and play.
Uh-huh. Do you still have your old PS2 multi-tap?
I have a PlayStation, a PlayStation 1, I have a PS2, I have my N64 still.
Yeah, but do you have a multi-tap for the PS2?
No, I
'Cause
don't think so.
That lets you play with more than two.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, no, not for that.
I was really disappointed that I got rid of my. Well, more and more, I'm really disappointed I got rid of my 360 because I had one that survived the entirety of the generation. Never
without
got
red rings.
Same.
Yeah.
The
Same,
red ring
honestly.
of death.
Original never got red rings, and we smacked that thing around a lot.
Yeah.
Ryan knows.
Joey
That
was
thing
in
took
the
a lot
one-
of damage.
Joey's a 1%er. He survived
Yeah.
the red rings.
Me and Jake, we survived the red rings of death.
I did not.
And I gave mine away.
I
I gave
traded
mine
in-
away to some.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I did with my 360. But after the press conference stuff with the Xbox One, I was just like, you know what, I'm done with Microsoft. I was enjoying my PS3 more at that time anyway. So
Mine
Yeah.
didn't
I-
survive my relationship from hell.
yeah,
Series S, it's pretty nice. I like the new Xbox controllers, and the Series S is readily available, and it's only like $300. So
Oh, you have a Series S?
although I think the DualSense controller for the PS5 is. I
Yeah,
know a lot
the
of people don't
PS5.
have one.
It's definitely. I
Oh,
like
well,
this
I wasn't
controller.
gonna flex.
a
I
lot.
wasn't gonna flex my PS5 controller.
I'm
because
just.
people
I've got it
can't-
right here.
Because
You're
people-
talking
thing-
about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
it's
mine
great.
too. I have mine too, but that doesn't. Look, that doesn't mean a lot of people don't have it yet. I wasn't gonna.
Hey guys, you want a PS5? Too bad I got one.
they don't have this. They don't. Are you saying they don't have this right here?
Poor suckers.
Yeah.
They don't have this. Well, some people are
a
also
lot of
looking for
people-
this. Do they have this?
No, I only have this.
What about a Switch? Do you guys...
Yeah, I have that. Uh-oh.
Are you guys looking for a Switch?
We lost Joe.
Too much flexing.
He can't keep up with the flex.
He's sick of our flexing.
Yeah, I got it. I'm pulling it out.
Whoa. I also have my 3DS somewhere.
Oh yeah, my 3DS is... I'm not pulling that out. That's
Yeah.
buried right now.
I have some great games on there.
Okay, enough of your weird old games and whatnot. Let's talk about the thing that everyone wants to talk about. And that's what I've been doing and playing.
Yes, we all want to talk about that.
I don't want to hear about your hentai games.
Wow.
Sakura Swim Club.
That was a lie, Joey. I actually do want to hear about them. I'll bring mine up if you bring yours up.
We're not going to bring that up on this podcast.
Jake's over here like, yo, Joey, I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
That's for the late night podcast that we'll be doing.
We've been out over
after
18.
hours. After hours.
The after hours podcast.
We've been out after dark.
Exactly. The dark side of weeping out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have really just been engulfed in several games lately because February was insane for game launches.
Yes, it was.
Horizon Forbidden West, which is a massive game that I'd still just gotten into the Forbidden... I don't even think I've gotten into the Forbidden West yet, and I'm 20 hours in. Destiny 2, Witch Queen came out. I've been playing that. I'm not as deep in that as I want to be, but that's because Elden Ring is amazing. Elden Ring is so good. And I didn't think so at first. I really didn't. Because its open world style is so different from Souls games, from most Souls games, because honestly, for most Souls games, you literally just go in, you struggle a bit with, well, actually, most of the regular enemies are kind of easy. It's the variants of the enemies that are really hard, but you farm up on those, and then you get the boss. It's very straightforward. So it's difficult, but you know what to do. You know your path, and it's just laid out in front of you. In Elden Ring, you get in the game and you're just dropped into the world. That's it. You get a little tutorial cave that's about 5 minutes long. You do it, you get the base mechanics, and then they give you the world. And they say, there you go. Have at it.
Joey, did you beat the first boss, first try?
No.
You get such good equipment from that.
No, I didn't.
The tree guardian or whatever?
The tree sentinel is not supposed to be fought right away. I know everyone does. Everyone tries to fight him right away. I did too. I tried to fight him right away. I gave up after like 10 tries.
I won't make that mistake.
I'm not going to do that. But the biggest advice that I can give to people that, because I know Elden Ring, I know the massive hype around the game. Everyone who is, even remotely related to gaming and whatnot, news in general, you've all seen the reviews and everyone talking about it. It is really amazing. But if you're not a Souls fan, if you're not used to these kinds of games, you're probably still not going to like it. I'm sorry to say that. I know that.
I'll say.
Yeah, it's something that you would think you don't need to say, but with the hype that this game's getting, a lot of casual people are coming in and they're just leaving immediately. Mm-hmm. And so I have to say, guys, if you're not a Souls fan, if you're not ready for this kind of challenge, you're not going to like the game because it does not hold your hand, I think, the least of any games. Because you will not know what to do. You're going to die a lot because you're just walking around and you're not going to have a good time. So, Ryan, you wanted to say something?
No, never mind.
It's
You got it.
Yeah, it's not easy,
Because
and
I guess I will say, like, for me, I would call myself like sort of a fan of the games. Like my friends talked me into buying the first Dark Souls.
mhm.
And somebody's gonna give me crap for this, but I think it's dumpster tier. I think this game's terrible. It's so clunky. It's awful. I don't know why people love it.
Are you
It makes no
talking
sense.
about Dark Souls or Demon Souls?
No, I'm talking about Dark Souls. I'm talking about the first Dark Souls. I've
That's
never
actually
tried Demon
shocking to
Souls.
me.
Yeah,
Because a
I
lot of
think it's
people would
terrible.
A
say
lot of people didn't like Demon Souls.
a lot of people did not like Demon Souls. I actually enjoyed Demon Souls, but it is definitely clunkier than any Dark Souls.
I think if you're going to play Demon Souls, the PS5 remake is the way
Right.
to go, because the remake was fantastic. By the way,
Yeah.
if you guys haven't played it,
No,
So I've
I've
heard.
only played the original
I-
Demon Souls.
I
Yeah.
hated the first Dark Souls. I just hated it. It felt so clunky. It felt like a mess. It felt like nothing was working right. And I took my hands off of the franchise. And then I played a little bit of Bloodborne with Joey because he brought it over to my house or something.
Mhm.
And I only played a little bit, but I actually liked it. But I wasn't sure I wanted to get back into. I wanted to give the series another chance. And then Dark Souls 3 came out. And my buddies were talking a big time, and I got a little caught up in the hype, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'll give him another shot. And I bought Dark Souls 3 um, off Steam, and I put like 50 hours into it within a week or something. I really, really liked it a lot. It felt like the problems I had with the original Dark Souls have been mostly fixed. Like the game felt smooth. It felt like all the mechanics were working properly. It felt like because my main problem with the first Dark Souls is it felt like it was just trying to be hard for the sake of it, and
Mhm.
like in a way that it's just trying to screw you over. Whereas like with Dark Souls 3, it felt like there were clear things that were like you had to do to survive, like with each boss or with each like encounter.
Yeah.
And it was like it was made in a way that's like fair. Like if you play well, like you will win. And I know there's a lot of people would be like, "Oh, the first Dark Souls is the same," but it's really not. Like a lot of the enemies just kind of fuck you, and that's it. They just dumpster you like a skeleton jumping at you, and you dodge, and it changes its angle in mid-air 180 degrees and hits you anyways. Like it was mechanics like that, and it's in the game. I don't care what anybody says. If anybody tries to defend that, it is in the game.
Oh yeah.
Boot it
No,
up.
it is.
You will boot it up. You will see. It's dumb. I want difficulty that I can play around, not difficulty that's just explicitly trying to kill me because, haha, prepare to die. Mm.
It tells
But
you
anyways,
to.
but anyways, moral of the story is, the first one for me sucks, but I did like the third one a lot. Once they made the game feel more smooth. And I like
Yeah.
Sekiro a lot too. That game is
Sekiro
really
was
sick.
really fun. Really fun.
So I am looking forward to playing Elden Ring. I'm just
Elden
waiting for it to
Ring-
go on sale someday.
Elden Ring has
Eventually.
Good luck with
Yeah.
that. Because Dark Souls 1, I think, is still full price on Steam. So,
It's not cheap.
yeah. Elden Ring is so great, and there is a big learning curve, at least for me. But I think if you go into it with the idea that you're not meant to follow the main content as strictly as you are in old games, you really need to go into Elden Ring with the idea that I am in this world to look around and explore and find everything that it has to offer. And then on the side, yeah, there's also a main story content that I can get. But that's not to say that Elden Ring doesn't have story. I think of the Souls games of the series, this is easily the most story packed game
That's
that they
what
have,
I've
and
heard.
it's so easy to follow too. A lot of the complaints
A lot easier
that
than the other Souls.
so much easier. And a lot of, not really complaints, because a lot of Souls players don't play them for the story, but it is there. The story is there in Souls games. It's just this one, perhaps because of the help of George R.R. Martin, perhaps because this game is just more accessible. There it is, more accessible to people, but it's so plain, and a lot of the cutscenes are there, and you can, once you find them, that's something I have to add, and I really had to make this point clear. The game wants you to explore. It is the fundamental foundation of Elden Ring, to explore. And I say this, there are absolutely things you are going to miss in your first playthrough. Everyone, probably for months, or even until the end of the year, are going to have things that they missed. The game is massive. The map is, honestly, outside of MMOs, I think it's probably, this could just be recency bias, but it's probably one of the biggest maps I've seen in a non-MMO open world game ever. The map is.
I'd be careful in stating that, Joey.
No Man's Sky.
That's why I said it's recency bias.
Right.
A lot of survival games will top that. Just their nature is their maps are huge, ginormous. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's huge. I didn't expect it to be this big. Not at all. And it just keeps growing. And each section is, there's so much to do. A lot of people will point out, detractors will point out that there's, the world's empty and there's not a lot, but I mean, the game does actively try and hide things from you. So you really do need to go out of your way to find these things, and it rewards you in doing it. And don't be afraid. The last thing I'll say here, wrapping up, is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to look up guides. Don't be afraid to look up, videos or help on it, because the game is huge. It's massive, and I won't blame you for looking out. I mean, other Souls players probably will, because
thank God, because I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Praying that you won't judge me.
Yeah. But don't be afraid to look up help or seek help, because it's a big world, and you're gonna get lost at times for sure. And that might detract a few people, because there's a lot of times where they just give you bare minimum hints about what to do next, and you just have to find it. But yeah, I mean, that's just consumed my life. So I mean, I've just been playing it. I'm like 60 hours in, and I don't even think I'm halfway done. So it's huge.
Nice. Noise.
And then Tiny Tina's coming out later this month, and I'm gonna be playing that. That's huge. And I guess I'll end this, and then if you guys have any closing thoughts,
I don't know if you're gonna play this, but April 5th, Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, I'll be playing it.
It actually looks so good.
Well, I say I'll have to see, because I'm planning on doing. It's funny that you brought this up, Jake. I'm planning on doing late night streams myself.
Oh, nice.
Either on Weeb Junkie's channel or on my Twitch, which I will have links to later once I finish setting that up. It's still in the testing phase right now. But yeah, I'm probably going to be doing at least some late night streams weekly, and then I'll work on getting a schedule set up. But we will work that into our good news for moving forward with this podcast that Ryan is going to talk about.
Yeah, so I mean, that caps it, but we do have some stuff to talk about before we go. So we are going to move the podcast into a stream. Of course, we'll upload as usual, so it will be on YouTube. But we are going to start streaming our podcast starting next week. So you'll have to bear with us on that. Hopefully it will feel the same, if not better. But we felt for a few episodes now that we didn't really need to do much editing, and so we've been feeling really good about moving it into a stream.
Streaming format.
Live based, yeah.
And with that, we would also we'd like to start maybe having some some chill fun streams of either two of us or the three of us coming together and playing some silly games, or just something casual, something fun,
Like Lego Star Wars.
like Lego Star Wars, where it will give you guys more opportunities to see us really relaxed, kind of get to know us better, and for us to just have some fun along the ride, because
and just give you guys more content.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because as we keep saying, every episode, we are having a lot of fun with this, and we're really excited about doing more, and we're really excited about the future of our channel, regardless of who watches it. We just want to keep doing this. So yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, we will have either a dedicated Attack on Titan video next week, or the majority of the podcast will be dedicated to Attack on Titan.
We still have to decide on that.
That's gonna be worked up. We are working on a lot of things. As Ryan said, bear with us. We're still new to this. We are learning every episode, every week, but it's definitely still a learning process. So we'll get better.
We have more ideas and things that we want to do and accomplish literally every week. We want to get all sorts of visuals and artwork done, and we're going to be working on that. So hopefully soon you guys will be seeing, for the better, a transformation with this channel. Yeah. So
thank you guys.
Thanks everybody for coming by.
YouTube stuff, comment, subscribe, comment, especially.
We do appreciate them. Yes.
Yeah. Well.
Yep. Jake. As always, if you want to see us, talk about a manga or anime in specific, or a game, if you want to see us play, or if you just want to know our thoughts on a game, let us know, and hopefully we can fit it in somewhere.
And if we're live and we have seen or know of the show or game you're talking about, we will try and talk about it as much as we can. We will be watching your live chat, so please let us know.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, once again, thanks everybody, and we'll see you for the live stream, hopefully.
Premiere live stream.
Premiere service.
I'm Ryan. We got Jake and Joey. And we're out.
See ya.